Okay. Uh, oof. Yeah, I started it again without the sound on. I don't I don't know technological stuff. Not really a technician in that sense. The Society of Ecstasy focuses more on the musical side of techno, if that makes any sense. And drugs, lots and lots of drugs. Drugs and machines that make music. It's pretty cool. Anyway, season 2, episode 5, Emily Laser Princess, Pink Raccoon. If I didn't say that already, I don't know. I don't know where I'm at in the video, down to the last glass of wine. So, running out of time to make these for tonight. Season 2, episode 5, Reptile Boy. Yeah, I knew frat boys are all demonic rapists. If you don't know that frat boys are demonic rapists at this point, you'll never get it. You might as well just throw in the towel and become a Nazi yourself. LOL, they're watching Bollywood movies. Tripped me out watching it the first time years and years and years ago because I had been by then already. No, was I? Was that after? It might have been around the same time as I got thrown out of film school. My neurodivergent ass couldn't do all the stuff that they were asking me to do. And then someone in the writing class took my screenplay and turned it into a TV show that made them millions of dollars, and I got absolutely nothing for it. I didn't even get, like, occasionally looked up or shouted out by the people I went to film school with, all of whom currently have fairly decent jobs in Hollywood, from what I can tell. Yeah, whatever. But yeah, I knew about Bollywood at the time, was what I was saying. And I found it funny that the people working in the writing room in Buffy knew about it as well. Is there one? Is there like a ton of cemeteries in Sunnydale? Like different looking ones appear with different tombstones, mausoleums, crypts, whatever. Every episode, it seems like. And there are certain recurring themes and some that look vaguely like the other ones. But this is supposed to be a relatively small city, and it's got an inordinate number of graveyards. And it just adds to this just giant pile of what the fuck is going on in the world outside of Sunnydale that no one is noticing the shit going on there at all. Like, the technocracy is on its game in the Buffyverse because they are keeping literally a Mount Everest of blatant supernatural nonsense from the world for decades. I mean, yeah, we'll get into it later in the season, obviously, about just how absurd it is that Sunnydale is not, you know, subject to like absolute like annihilation by a combined force of the technocracy and the traditions. Because yeah, come on, the city's been around for 100 years, run by a guy who is clearly a nefandus of the First Order, and you're like, they're 60 miles from Los Angeles. How is this not being like stopped? Oh, of course, yeah. You're in a reality where a small group of wizards use their powers to imbue one girl in all the world so that they could control her and use her for their personal ends, which just so happen to, generally speaking, align with the forces of good. Okay. More of the old guy, young girl shite Joss Whedon seems very fond of. So gross. Oh my god, how did this get made? Oh, why does Xander stop to chat with Cordelia? Like, that was one of those things that always bugged me, even early on. Like, if you're gonna make something like feel natural, it can't feel forced. And it's like it feels the Cordelia Xander thing feels just so like tumor growing out of your side into like, you know, a basketball shaped sphere, and they just kind of cover it up with a little bit of makeup and act like, you know, no one can see it, and it just kind of bugs me. Joss Whedon has like a whole folder in the Epstein files, I'm quite certain at this point. um I'm not making an like actual accusations against Joss Whedon or anything, but he just really loves underage girls hooking up with much older men in a way that is really, really nauseating. Even Willow is glazing the pervs. This is sickening. Angel, of course, really old pervs. This is my notes, like watching. This is what I absorbed and came up with watching this episode. And like all I care about are superheroes, lesbians, music, and movies. I don't want to hear about any of this stuff. I don't want to have to think about any of this stuff. You know? And yet it's like constant, repetitious, blatant pedophilia supporting crap from this guy who ended up doing one of the fucking Avengers movies. I do love the MCU. I can't help it. Superheroes are just the best. Seriously, this episode is hard to watch. All these girls, literally nothing but boys in their heads, one of whom is presented as a paragon of female empowerment. Yeah, what the fuck, Buffy? You are the chosen one to fight the forces of evil. And yet, the only thing you seem to think about is boys, 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 boys. And I mean, yeah, sure, like, not all women should be lesbians, but I mean, you know, at least, like, you know, don't intentionally look for ugly people. But then, you know, guys are generally speaking, guys are ugly. Sorry. Um, Worse, knowing the US government is probably mostly filled with guys like these frat slime motherfucker cultists. Um, I put probably in there, uh, but yeah, the Republican Party are all pedophiles. Probably most of the Democrat Party too. To maturity. Any guy who says that to an underage girl, whatever. Yeah, so torture Xander, but who wants to see it? We'll never get the dumb these characters exhibit. Taking an open drink from a frat asshole. What the fuck? Yeah, all in all, a terrible episode on a terrible subject matter.